All right, so John Tyler is one of those presidents that if you think that American politics is boring, that's because you've never really looked at John Tyler's presidency. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in it. So one of the big things about him, let's take a look at the America at the time. There's division over Whigs over Tyler's legitimacy. Remember, Tyler got the job because William Henry Harrison died 30 days into office. So people were concerned about that. We got border concerns with Great Britain, we've got further westward expansion, and we got tension over Mexico, over Texas, and whether Texas will become part of the United States, be independent, possibly be connected more to Great Britain. We're trying to see what's going on there. I think we've kind of missed some of our admission of states, but Florida will be admitted basically on the last full day in office for John Tyler in 1845. So yeah, he got the credit for that. Whether you want to give him credit or not, we'll see. Election at 1840 with Harrison. Harrison's going to win that easily. Remember that the Democrats, or that the Whigs had out the Democrats. And maybe they Democrated the Democrats a little bit too much because Tyler will turn into a Democrat. That's why up here we have Whig, Democrat, Republican, because he's going to kind of be all three. He's looking for a party. He really doesn't, sounds like he's a college freshman, right? He's looking for a party. He doesn't really have one. He's going to be a Whig when he's elected or when he becomes president, but he does some things to take the Whigs off. So then it looks like he's becoming more of a Democrat. He gets more Democrats into his cabinet, and then he goes into the election in 1844, and the Democrats don't really trust him, and the Whigs aren't going to put him up for the nomination. So he forms the Democrat Republicans and has no chance at winning. But he does get one big thing as he kind of left office. All right, so let's take a look at his domestic policies. A lot of it has to do with his legitimacy as president. People are concerned that he is not the president, no matter what it says. He's known as his accidency, and he actually had to proclaim that he was the president, that he'd taken the oath of office, and that he was the president. He was not vice president and acting president. He was president, full stop. The other thing is he never gets a vice president. Right? He was the vice president, but he never puts another vice president in there. Right? He wanted to limit the federal government power, which is very much more of a Democrat Party ideal than the Whig Party. And through that, he's going to veto a national bank. Again, something that the Whigs supported. He's going to veto the national bank. And he's going to believe that the money for federal lands should go to the states. So any selling of those western lands should go to the states to help them with their burdens, their economic burdens. And he wanted to peg the tariff percent at 20. Again, those are Democratic ideals. So the Whigs are going to break from him in 1841. A lot of his cabinet is going to resign, and he has to replace them. And those that he does replace, he's replacing a lot of times with more Democrat people. And there's going to be an impeachment attempt. Not really because of any gross misconduct or breaking a law. It was just kind of, they're poking around to see if it was possible to impeach John Tyler. So he's definitely breaking from the Whig Party. Not real big things in his domestic policy to really focus on. His foreign policy has a lot of stuff kind of there. We're going to, in 1842, we've got the Aroostook War about to kick off with Britain and Canada versus the U.S. over the Aroostook River. It's really a lumberjack war, but it could get into a shooting war if we're not careful. And we've got to negotiate an end to that. So Tyler is going to get his emissaries to get a compromise. And it's a pretty good compromise. We're essentially going to split it. I think we get a little bit more land than Britain does, but they get the land they're searching for to build a road to Halifax, Nova Scotia. But we're definitely not fighting over Northern Maine and the Moose. The Treaty of Wangia, 1844, we're opening China to our traders. So that's going to pay economic dividends to us. And that's always a good thing. The Texas Annexation, 1844, that election is going to become a referendum on westward expansion and Texas annexation. Tyler, again, he's acting very democratic in his views. He wants to add on Texas. So does Polk. All right, there's another Whig candidate who's kind of opposed to it. But Tyler is kind of able to focus and get Texas, the possibility of Texas annexation out there. So before he leaves office and before Polk comes in, he's able to get the Texas annexation treaty ratified. Texas agrees to it, and bam, Texas becomes part of the Union, much to Mexico's anger. All right, so we're done with Tyler, and next we're going to Polk.